A new study examines the advantages and disadvantages of not eating meat and other animal products. According to research, people who forgo eating meat may be at a higher risk of having a stroke. People who eat meat, on the other hand, are more prone to acquire heart disease. Do you want to know how a plant-based diet can help prevent strokes? Well, you've come to the right place if you're interested in learning more about the effects of your diet on your health. Subscribe and click the notification button to be notified of new posts. Is it healthier or worse for your health to eat a vegetarian diet? It's often assumed that eating a plant-based diet lowers your risk of heart disease. New research suggests that it may also put you at risk for another significant health problem, stroke. A new study published in the UK's BMJ trusted source examined meat eaters, fish eaters, and vegans for 18 years. Vegetarian and vegan diets have grown in popularity in recent years, partially due to perceived health benefits, but also due to environmental and animal welfare concerns, said Tammy Tong, Foth, the study's primary researcher. Fish eaters and vegetarians had 13 and 22 lower incidences of heart disease, respectively, than meat eaters, according to the study. However, the researchers made an unexpected discovery. Vegetarians had a 20 higher stroke risk than meat eaters, owing to a higher rate of one type of stroke called a hemorrhagic stroke in the US, in the United States, and around the world. Stroke is a leading cause of death and disability. Approximately 795,000 Americans have a stroke each year. The direct and indirect costs of stroke is $33 billion per year between 2005 and 2050. It is estimated that a seismic stroke will cost more than $2.02 trillion in the United States. Ischemic stroke accounts for 87 of all strokes. Intracerebral hemorrhage accounts for 10, subarachnoid hemorrhage accounts for 10, and subarachnoid hemorrhage accounts for 3. Do all types of plant-based diets prevent strokes? When it comes to minimizing the risk of stroke, not all vegetarian diets are created equal, according to a study published in March 2021. Neurology. If you adopt a plant-based diet to boost brain health, you should eat whole grains, fresh fruits and vegetables, and avoid processed grains, added sugars, and fats. Researchers looked at data for more than 200,000 U.S. people who had been tracked for more than 25 years and had completed health and eating habit questionnaires every 2 to 4 years. Researchers recorded a total of 6,241 stroke cases during the follow-up period. The researchers graded the participants' diets depending on how healthy the plant-based items they consumed were. Vegetarians were defined as persons who ate no more than one serving of meat or fish each month. The study discovered that being a vegetarian has no effect on the risk of stroke. A hemorrhagic stroke is a form of stroke that occurs when a weakened blood vessel ruptures, allowing blood to flood into the brain. Uncontrolled high blood pressure rupture of a brain, aneurysm, or rupture of an irregular blood artery in the brain are the most prevalent causes, according to Dr. Ishwar Sankara, a neurointensivist of Near Critical Care Associates at Texas Health, Fort Worth. These sorts of strokes, according to Sankara, often inflict more damage and are more dangerous than ischemic strokes caused by blood clots. This study used data from 188 persons in their 40s who had no history of coronary heart disease or stroke. From the European perspective, investigation into cancer and nutrition study. Meat eaters, pescatarian or fish eaters, vegetarians and vegans were separated, according to an accompanying editorial published alongside the study. It was the perfect study design for assessing long-term impacts of food habits on health. The authors focused on correcting for socio-demographic and lifestyle variables, as well as using rigorous statistical approaches. Is it possible to avoid a stroke by eating a vegetarian diet? According to a recent study published in Taiwan, eating a vegetarian diet rich in nuts, soy, and veggies may reduce a person's chance of suffering a stroke. The research, published in Neurology, the official journal of the American Academy of Neurology, looked into the relationship between a person's diet and the occurrence of two forms of stroke. Hemorrhagic stroke occurs when blood from an artery bleeds into the brain, whereas a stroke occurs when a blood vessel is stopped every year. Over 795,000 people in the United States have a new or recurrent stroke, making it the second most significant cause of death worldwide. Trusted source. In addition, a stroke can leave people disabled, and those who have had one are more likely to acquire dementia in the future, according to the American Heart Association. The age. Over 4 of adults in the United States would have a stroke by 2030. In addition to being connected to a 10 lower overall stroke risk, the researchers discovered that a healthy plant-based diet was linked to a slight reduction in the risk of a ischemic stroke, the most frequent type of stroke, which happens when blood supply to the brain is blocked. However, a healthy plant-based diet was found to have no link to a lower risk of hemorrhagic stroke, which occurs when a blood vessel in the brain leaks or ruptures. In a separate study, the researchers found no link between a vegetarian diet and a lower risk of stroke. However, they did remark that the number of vegetarian study participants was modest. The researchers hypothesize that a significant portion of low-quality plant-based items in individuals' diets could explain this results, as well as inconsistent results. In previous studies looking at plant-based diets and stroke risk, please hit the thumbs up button and share what you want to talk about next in the comment box. Before we talk about the probable consequences of a plant-based diet, what is the other possible effect of plant-based diets? Certain nutrients may be deficient in plant-based diets. According to Tong, the higher stroke risk associated with a vegetarian diet could be due to low total cholesterol levels in the blood or a lack of certain critical nutrients. It's unexpected that the vegetarian-vegan group has a greater rate of hemorrhagic and total stroke. However, as the authors point out, these findings are similar to those of other studies from Japan and China linked vegetarian diets to an increased risk of stroke. Dr. Jennifer H. Heath, the cardiologist at Columbia University Irving Medical Center, explained they relate this to a putative protective impact of specific animal products. Sankara stressed that more research is needed to figure out why this elevated risk exists. One factor that may have contributed to this finding is that vegetarians and vegans are more likely to acquire vitamin B12, vitamin D, and other dietary deficiencies, which may contribute to neurological illness, Sankara added. A nutritional deficit in the body can put you at risk of a range of health problems. Nutrient deficiencies, particularly vitamin B12 deficiency and other B vitamins such as folic acid, B9 and 6 deficiency can raise the risk of stroke, he stated. Vitamin D insufficiently has been linked to an increased risk of stroke. Therefore, vegetarians should consult their primary care physician, be checked for vitamin deficiencies, and be treated appropriately with vitamin supplements if necessary, he added. Weight loss. According to a 2016 meta-analysis, switching to a vegetarian diet can help people lose weight, at least in the short term. To learn how a vegetarian diet affects weight, scientists need to conduct longer-term controlled trials. A systematic review of cholesterol, according to a study released in 2015 by Trusted Source. Vegetarians are more likely to have lower total cholesterol levels. In addition, according to Trusted Source, the authors of a 2014 study on heart health, people who ate a vegetarian diet in India had a lower risk of cardiovascular disease, Similar findings had previously been found in studies conducted in Western countries. When a person stops eating meat, these advantages do not occur automatically. Along with a vegetarian diet, people must ensure that they consume the appropriate amount of calories, concentrate on a wide range of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, decrease their consumption of processed meals and alcoholic beverages, avoid trans fats, added sugars, and salt, and live a healthy lifestyle that includes many exercises. Aside from the health benefits, scientists claim a plant-based diet is more sustainable than a meat-based diet, since it is less harmful to the environment. Wrapping up, according to new research, people who eat a vegetarian or vegan diet had a lower risk of coronary heart disease, but a higher chance of a particularly severe type of stroke. Experts believe this is due to the lack of critical elements in plant-based diets, but they stress that further research is needed to validate this link. For example, the human brain requires a DL lipid, which can only be found in meat for optimal health and growth, while plant foods include ALA, which can be turned into D. Only a small amount is converted in the body. That concludes today's video. Remember to subscribe and turn on notifications